Hello everyone, my name is Shalindra, and today I'm gonna do something a little different that I have never done before. So, first of all, I started playing Honkai Star Rail exactly 2 weeks ago. So this was not a decision that I have thought about for a long time. This was more I saw Aventurine and I knew I wanted him. So here we are, 2 weeks after deciding that starting Star Rail was a good idea. So as you can see, I got this character, the main character in Star Rail, on the 8th of April. So that is when I started the game. I played. I have no idea how long I played the first day, but I did play a lot. So before we start, I just wanted to show my Trailblaze level. So this is, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. I just grinded out the game for 2 whole weeks. I basically done nothing in Genshin, except for my dailies, because I've been so busy. So I reached Trailblaze level 50. So this is what I did until the 21st of April. Today is the 22nd, and I decided not to do anything after logging in before doing this recording. I am also Equilibrium level 3. I did not ascend yet. There's reasons for that, because I am still pretty early into the game. Like I am still 2 weeks into the game, which means that I have had a limited amount of time farming and a limited amount of energy that I could spend, which means that my characters aren't actually built yet. And I think ascending to level 4 will just make the game unnecessary hard for me. So yeah, that's the reason I did not ascend yesterday. So the next I want to show is my databank. Just a reminder, I am still very new in the game, but I assume that this is kind of like showing everything that I've collected in the game. So as of light cones, I bought this one for Dr. Ratio because I am playing a Dr. Ratio Aventurine team right now. And I was thinking that giving my damage dealer a 5-star light cone, which is not the best light cone as far as I know, but it's still not like a bad one either. Like it's not the worst one I could have on him. So that was like what made the most sense to me. And then the rest of them are mainly just from wishing, really. So that was like the 4 stars. Like as you can see, there's like not really a lot of light cones, not a lot of them that I can use, so I just like make use of what I have. Enemy creatures, I've explored a lot. I will show that later, but I am currently missing one enemy and I have no idea where to find it. And I did not look that up either. So I am missing something from the swarm. No clue what it is, no idea where to find it, but I assume that through further exploration, one day I will find it. So yeah, this is all my enemies that I've encountered. As for characters, I did wish, as you saw, that I have Aventurine, and I also got some characters through wishing. I will go over my wishing history later in the video, but I was lucky I got Himiko on the standard banner and on the beginner banner. And I will talk more about this, but I also got Jeopard and Clara by wishing for Aventurine. And then I got Dr. Ratio for free in the mail, which is also a reason why I wanted to start playing right now, because he was still in the mail and he was still available as a free character. So I decided to start now while I could still pick up Dr. Ratio. As for the 4 stars, these are my characters that I've currently obtained in the game. The last thing I'm gonna look at in the databank is the relics. And this, one of the reasons I want to show this is that, again, I am very, very new to the game. And I decided not to focus on relics or ornaments for now. And the reason for that is basically what I learned from Genshin. Spend your resources at guaranteed upgrades. Relics, without having actually farmed them, I assume work the same way as artifacts in Genshin. and artifacts are just pure RNG. Super annoying to farm, and you can farm for months without getting an upgrade. So I decided not to focus on relics or ornaments and just passively gain them through like opening chests and other places where I can get them. Like I did do simulated universe. I did spend energy on ornaments. Not sure if it was worth it, but I did get some, and I like the RNG. I like the uncertainty, honestly, and I think it's a lot of thrill in hoping for the correct item. So I don't mind spending a little bit on relics, on ornaments, but I haven't actually like hard farmed it. The next thing we're gonna look at is my achievements. So in Genshin, I've actually been farming achievements in the form of commissions. So the commission achievements. In Star Rail, on the other hand, I haven't actually focused on achievements, so I don't have that many. As you can see, like I haven't actually like finished up any of these, which is fine. I have 292 achievements within the first 2 weeks of playing. I am pretty happy with this. It's a great source of stellar jades if I had decided to go for achievements, but that's not what I wanted to focus on when starting the game. I love a good story that just gets me super, super invested in it. And I just wanted to play through the story and some of the side quests and focus on that. And then also exploration for farming stellar jades. And whatever achievements I got on the way, they were just a bonus, really. The next we're gonna look at is inventory. So again, fairly new to the game. I don't have a lot in my inventory. Currently, I'm farming for my first team. I only have one team that I focus on, with a few characters here and there that I've been swapping out after getting new ones. I'm gonna talk about that. Yeah, so these are my upgrade materials, and I don't have a lot of them, and that's because I just spend them as I get them. So the ones that I'm farming, as soon as I have enough to upgrade something, whether that's light cones or traces, I just spend. So that's why I'm a little short. And I haven't really been farming. Like I've been passively farming resources through just exploration by getting into combat with enemies. But other than that, I haven't actually gone out of my way to farm specific items. We already looked at my light cones. Since I have a limited amount of light cones, I just put what I thought sounded good, or based on like the resources I had, like through internet. Like I just put whatever I thought was the best on my characters for now. And these are not necessarily the best, but this is what I have to work with, right? So if there is anything that's better to use, please let me know. And I feel that when building characters, the hard part is to know what's actually good on them. Because I can read all I want, but if I don't fully understand what the like light cone effect or relic effect do, I can't really judge well enough if I am putting the correct relics or light cones on my characters. So if there is anything here I have that is better used on the 4 characters I use for my main team, please let me know. Again, relics. This is mainly what I've just gotten by playing the game without farming. So that's why some of my characters are still on 4-star relics, because I don't have enough 5-star relics to be picky. So I'm still using and upgrading 4-star relics if they have correct main stat. I've mainly been focused on main stat on my relics and not so much about the substats. I care a little about substat, but I think being this early into the game, focusing on min-maxing like that is not the best way to spend my resources. Other materials, again, just gained from playing the game. Consumables, I haven't actually made any consumables. So this is just what I've gotten through the game. Same with like missions and valuables. I've spent all my Undying Starlight on wishes for Aventurine. Yeah, so that's why I don't have any. The next thing we're gonna look at is my quest log or my missions. So I finished the whole main story. I'm not gonna spoil anything. It was really, really good. And I'm currently working on this one. I did, I think, the first part where I unlocked this area. I did explore the whole thing. And now I'm working on this one. I am done with all the adventure missions. I might have missed some. I will go back and have a look at that. But I finished all of the ones that I picked up. I did not finish today's daily mission. Again, I wanted to record this before I actually did anything in game, just to give the best representation of what a 2-week account could look like. I haven't actually done a lot of these companion missions. I accidentally started this while exploring. I ran too close to the quest area. That's fine. This is also probably the last one I'm gonna do because I do like the Danheng story and I want to save that for as late as possible just so I have something to look forward to. I will be finishing all of these at some point, but I am not stressing. And the reason for why I haven't done these is that these are voiced questlines. So the difference for me when playing story games, if the quest is not voiced, I am not super invested. Like I just click through the dialogues and I kind of like read really fast and I do get like some of the story through that, but it's not like it's not the point for me when it comes to the blue quests or the adventure missions. These quests, on the other hand, they are voiced. When quests are voiced, I just put on autoplay and I just sit and listen. And I just get the story like that. And that's the way I like to play. I play Genshin the same way. I skip through the non-voiced quests and I sit and listen to the voiced quests. And I think for me, this is the best way to experiencing the game. I'm in the middle of this quest. It got way too late yesterday, so I had to stop mid-quest. If I had started earlier, I would probably have finished this before making the video, but I didn't get that far. Again, I did not ascend yet. I don't think my account is ready. I want to get my supports at least to the next ascension because they are currently level 50 and I think ascending without them being level 60 is going to be a little risky. So I'm just going to wait until I have farmed for them. So the next I'm going to look at is my simulated universe. Last week I cleared World 1, I cleared World 2, I cleared World 3, both 1 and 2. I tried World 4 and I couldn't beat it. I didn't actually try difficulty 1. I didn't see that I hadn't done difficulty 1, but I tried difficulty 2 yesterday and the last boss just smacked my my supports. So I decided to leave it like this. I will probably clear this today. I see that the recommended team level is 47, so I assume that my characters can clear. But yeah, that's what I did so far in Simulated Universe. I bought the light cone. I am looking at this. I'm like, oh, I really, really want this because I love the wishing part of the game, but I had to be smart, right? So I will probably pick up some more delight cones if they're good. I don't know if I can use this to upgrade this one, but if I can, that would be great. As for my ability tree, I've unlocked some of it. As you can see, I don't have enough to activate this one, but I got to this one. And I think this is pretty okay. I don't know how fast you're supposed to get these, but I think this is okay for now. I am not really looking too much into like endgame content yet. I am mainly still just exploring, building my characters, and trying to figure out the second team because I do want to get into the end game soon. I just want to focus on my main team first and then start my second team. As a Forgotten Hall, I cleared this one up to 11. I did not clear 11 yet because I need a second team and I don't have that. So I decided to leave it at this. And that's also the reason I haven't done this yet, because I needed a second team. As of pure fiction, so I did unlock this yesterday. And I could not do this because I have my first team. I think they did okay. But then this team is just like, it's not even a team, right? This is just a character I've kind of leveled a little. I leveled some of the traces, but it's not actually a team. So the next thing we're gonna look at is my exploration. So I don't know if I should be embarrassed or proud over this, but my exploration looks kinda crazy. So I finished Herda Space Station. I have all the treasures and trotters, everything in Herda Space Station. And I did the same on Yarilo 6. So I do like exploring. I have worked in Genshin on 100% exploration, and I decided that this is something I like doing enough, and hopefully it's a good source of stellar jades, which it was actually. I just decided to, I guess, what you can call 100%ing everything. I have to say though that Penacony was probably the worst area to explore. I do like the area. I think it's great. I think there's a lot of fun things to do here. Story in this place was great, but you have these rooms. Exploring these are absolutely terrible. I did use a guide to find the remaining chests and trotters, and also in Penacony you have trash cans that you need to interact with, and I did use a guide for all of that. But these rooms were not enjoyable to explore. The rest though, the regular areas, they were great. I love the place. I think there's a lot of fun things to do in Penacony, and I could just still run around and just explore the world, even though I did finish up all of the exploration regarding chests, trotters, and trash cans. The next thing we're gonna look at is my wishing history. I said at the beginning of the video that I started playing the game for Aventurine. I actually saw a picture of him. I think it's official art. And I was like, oh, I need this character. And I did some research when I started. I think it was a week left of the Phase 1 banners. And I was like, okay, let's just grind out as much as we can in 1 week and see where we're at. If we can get Aventurine, that would be great. If not, I would probably just quit. That was what I was thinking when I started 2 weeks ago. The first week, I managed to save up 157 wishes. And I did wish for Aventurine, but the wishing did not go as planned. So I am not known as being very lucky. I am a little lucky. In Genshin, the first time I wished, I did go pretty high pity, but I also won my 50-50. On the Aventurine banner, on the other hand, I can't say that I was like unlucky, because I did end up being guaranteed at least one Aventurine, because I managed to get Jeopard on wish number 23. So this is both good and bad, I think. Like, I got an early loss, which is, if you are gonna lose your 50-50, I think the best way of losing the 50-50 is if you lose early. The problem is that, as far as I've understood, Jeopard and Aventurine both do pretty much the same. Like, they fill the same role in the team. Which means that, based on what I read, if you have Jeopard, if you have a well-built Jeopard, you don't actually need Aventurine. So for me, this was a loss, because now I have two characters that essentially fill the same role. But I was so hard set on Aventurine that I kept wishing, and I managed to get Aventurine on wish number 75. So this is where soft pity starts. So in my head, this is good. Getting my guaranteed on wish 75, I think is good. So at first, I was fine with this. I did throw my last wishes into the Aventurine banner. And this is because I haven't really thought about what other characters I want. So it's okay. Like, I am not treating Star Rail the same way as I do with Genshin, with the planning of what characters I want yet. So I did throw my last wishes into his banner. And I was also kind of hoping for an early E1 Aventurine. And that brings me over to the next point. So I read on Aventurine's Eidolons, or what I would call constellations, right, from Genshin. And I thought his E1 sounded kind of good. So if I understand it correctly, you get 20% crit damage for allies that has his shield. And after using his ultimate, all allies get a shield that is as strong as the one provided by his skill, and it lasts for 3 turns. So for me, this was more of a comfort pick, that getting a shield with his ultimate is just a bonus and makes him even more comfortable to play. Because I have to say that after getting Aventurine and playing him, the game is just so incredibly comfortable. I do play with a healer. I will go into that later, but I don't actually need her in most situations. So going back to my wishes, after I decided I wanted his E1, I was back to grinding. And this is where I started my exploration spree, where I just explored every single zone in the entire game. So I know from Genshin that exploration is a big source of primogems, and I assume that it would be the same for Star Rail, where exploring would give me a bunch of stellar jades. And I was right, because I managed to save up even more. This is me using the remainder of the wishes I have. I spent about 100 wishes before I got Aventurine E0. I had 57 wishes left, and I just sent them all, because why not? And then you can see here, I got Clara, and I was so devastated. I lost another 50-50, and I got Clara on wish number 77, which means that I was out of warps, and I was so sad. And I know that back then, on the 18th, this was, I think, the day after Aventurine banner released, and I could just see my Aventurine E1 slipping through my fingers. Because I decided late, very, very late, this is at night, I decided that I wanted E1 Aventurine. And that was just a moment's decision. It was not even well thought through. This was me just saying, I want to send all my wishes on Aventurine. And then I got Clara. And it felt so bad with all the hard-earned wishes that I had gotten the past week, and then losing. But what do I do when things are not going my way? Sometimes I just force it. So I decided I want to force Aventurine E1. I'm gonna farm and I'm gonna grind out this game as much as I can before his banner ends. And if I don't get him in the end, I might buy the last wishes that I need, because I am on a guarantee. So I just grinded everything that I showed earlier in the video. I just grinded out. And on wish number 81, my Aventurine E1 showed up. And I was so happy. This is the first time I've gone for a 5-star Eidolon or Constellation. All my 5 stars in Genshin are C0, but I just fell in love with Aventurine as a character, as his design, his gameplay, and I just knew that I wanted to make this investment. So now that we talked about Aventurine, I want to talk about my standard wishes, because I also got a bunch of these while playing the game and upgrading like the clocky thing in Penacony and stuff like that. On the standard banner, I just send wishes whenever I get them. I was lucky I got a 4-star on my first wish. Okay, so I had to be honest, I am not used to getting early 5 stars. Most of my 5 stars throughout my gacha game history have been around 80 wishes. So when I got a 5-star on wish number 27, I was very surprised. And I got Himiko. Since then, I haven't actually gotten any other 5 stars on the standard banner, but I am 72 pity in. So hopefully I will get one soon. The last thing I want to do is talk about the characters that I'm using. I know that their builds are not the best builds, but I did decide to focus on the guaranteed upgrades first, which includes character level, their light cones, and their traces. So this is my stats on my Aventurine. He is level 60 out of 60. I just built him purely into defense for now. He is currently on Destiny's Threads for Woven Light Cone, level 60. For traces, I did fully upgrade these that give defense. I think these are very important because it's what his shield scales off of. And I did upgrade his skill to level 6. And this is because I did want to build him as a shield bot, basically. And that is the only thing for now that he needs to do on my team. It is to keep them alive. And then I also wanted his talent leveled up, and I wanted a little bit on his ultimate. And this is where I decided to stop when it comes to upgrading his traces, because I saw that my damage dealer, Dr. Ratio, did not do any damage. And I also wanted to be able to actually kill stuff, and therefore I decided to leave Aventurine here and focus on my damage dealer. As for relics, I am running Knight of Purity Palace. This is again just for his shield and for defense. And as of the ornaments, I have no idea which one of the ornaments I have that's actually good. I just know that the one that they recommend is something that I don't have yet. So I just basically I just did this. I clicked this button and then I just clicked recommended gear and I just picked it. I just took whatever the game told me to go for. And for his Eidolons, again, I wanted his E1. I thought it sounded great, even more comfortable to play. As a new player where I don't really know any mechanics, I think focusing on shield is a good thing to do. So that is why I also wanted to go for his E1 and also for the crit damage for all his allies with his shield. I have run with Natasha since I started playing, since I got her. I played her before I got Aventurine because I needed a healer. She is not that well built, she's not that invested in. I have no idea how much HP I'm supposed to have on her, but I've been focusing on HP main stats. Her light cone, I am running post-op conversation. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It is level 50. I run this because of the healing on their ultimate. Basically, for me, now that I play her with Aventurine, her healing is there just as a panic button. Other than that, there is no other point in running her, in my opinion. As for her traces, I have leveled them as much as I could, except for her basic attack. And I will continue to level up her skill and her talent and her ultimate when I ascend her. As for relics, I am running healing and HP on the ornaments. She's built as a healer. This is what I went with before I got Aventurine, and I just stuck with it because there's no point for me to change their build too much at start. She is E0, and that is completely fine. I was lucky that I got this character. I think her name is pronounced Gwynaifan, and I read that she can work with Dr. Ratio, so I decided to do that. As far as I've understood, Dr. Ratio wants debuffs on the enemy, and she provides 2 debuffs, I think, at E1. So she was, I think, the best choice right now, or what I had when I got her. As for her stats, I haven't really focused anything into building her, so her stats are a little all over the place, but I think that's fine. As for her light cone, again, I don't have a lot of Nihility light cones. I have these 2. I don't know which one is the best. I have to be honest about that. I went with this one because I think I read somewhere that this was also usable on Luca. I want to build Luca in the future. Also a character I really, really like. And I decided to go with what is probably the most energy efficient for me right now, which is upgrading things that can be used on multiple characters. Her traces are leveled as much as they can be for her level. She's also the next character I will focus on with building after I built Dr. Ratio a little bit more. And this is because I don't actually need Natasha. She's more of a panic button to press. But this one, I want her to perform as well as she can. And therefore, I decided I want to build her as the next character. As a relics, again, I just put on the recommended gear. They are not leveled at all. I'm not really sure what's her best relic set or ornament, but that's something I will look into when I start actually farming relics, because I will start doing that at some point, but right now that's not my focus. And also the reason I decided to use her is that people pointed out that her E1 is really good, and I was thinking that since I got her E1, then why not building her? The last character is Dr. Ratio. He is getting there with his build. He is leveled to 60, and he is the only one of my characters with a 5-star light cone. I am not sure if this is the best light cone for him, but it is one of the better ones. And it gives crit rate, and it increases the crit rate to enemies with HP less than 50, and you also get attack when you defeat an enemy. So for me, this just sounded really good. As for his traces, this is what I'm currently working on. I will upgrade this one today, together with some more of his traces, whenever I get the resources. As for relics, I don't know if wearing the 4-piece is the best, but this is the only 5-star relic set that I could find that was somewhat usable, like with 5-star pieces. As for his ornaments, again, I have no idea if this is the correct one, but this is what the game recommended. And my ratio is E0. As for other characters that I did play, I played Asta at start. I swapped her out with Gunai Fan when I swapped to Dr. Ratio as my main damage dealer, because she is, as far as I understood, mainly a buffer, while Gunai Fan is a debuffer. Until I got Aventurine, my main damage dealer was actually Danheng. I like playing him. I think his animations look great, but Aventurine wants a follow-up attacker in his team, and Danheng does not. So for me, it made the most sense that I wanted to build a team around Aventurine, and therefore it made sense to bench Danheng over Dr. Ratio. At the start of the game, March 7th was my shielder. I had a hard time playing her. Her shield was okay, but I still died, and that was kind of annoying. So as soon as I got Aventurine, she was benched. And this is all the characters I did build. So the rest of these are just level 20 and ascended ones to get the free wish. So yeah, this is what I did the first 2 weeks of playing Honkai Star Rail. I have to say that I really enjoyed it so far. I think the story is great, and I am also looking forward to the new patches, more story, new characters. I still haven't fully decided on what I want to do for my second team. I am, though, leaning towards getting Yanjing. I think he is absolutely adorable, but I also heard that he is not that great of a damage dealer. He's also, as far as I know, another single target damage dealer, which I think I should avoid for now since I have Dr. Ratio. But I was also never a meta player, so I might be picking him up whenever I get the 300 standard banner wishes, and I can pick a 5-star from the standard banner. Other than that, I am also thinking about Jing Yuan. I think his animations look really cool. We got to see them during the story, and I think that is the plan for now. And this is what I've done in 2 weeks of playing Star Rail. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.